Hello, hello. Come one and all, the night show begins shortly. As always, we'd like to give time for others to show. And what might be, what actually probably actually not might be, will be our final metaphor episode. Because I highly doubt we'll take 2 hours to get through anything else after but this ending. But we'll begin shortly. Just give it 1 minute. And while we're doing that, I'm going to do one quick thing before I forget. Especially because it's the end of the week, and if this happens, I'll make it. My controller down. Should pick it back up. Come on and all. The show begins soon. Soon. Come on, the night show begins soon. As always, let's give it time for others to show. I know I'm repeating myself, but I just want to give you a line. But we'll begin in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Night Show! I'm your host, your Grand MC, your Night of Entertainment, the one, the only TK Diz, Isaac, Quickstep, and Orion. You know you can call me. I am your night host, the one who reads through the night home, who travels through this keynote stadium to push back the sorrow and put a smile on everyone's faces. I hope you're ready for fantasy to come alive, to see what we all believe in, and know what happened at the journey's end. Long have I waited the arrival of this day.
Has reached its end. He came to know the goodness of a hero's heart, and became the king his people had always hoped for.
There's no auto on this.
As this journey ends, so another begins. I'd like you to watch over him on his path for a little longer yet. 1 year has passed since the arrival of the new king.
Hey, heard the news? They're finally reopening that mage academy that got closed down.
You don't say. The famous one deep in the Montario Mountains. Really? I'm impressed. It only took them a year.
They've even paved a proper mountain road.
Oh, God.
And get this, their headmistress is none other than Lady Juna.
What? The songstress?
Well, she is one of the king's 6 partisans. If she managed to help save the world
My
from
6.
I expect she
know.
knows a thing or two about magic. Sounds like they plan to fully open the magic researchers' findings to the people, too. Quite a turn from when the late Sanctifex banned it.
Makes sense to me. After the clash between His Majesty and Luis last year, everyone knows you don't really need an igniter to use magic.
And that's just today's news. It's surprise after surprise, ever since us church folk got the boot from the palace.
Yes, hard to believe it's already been a full year. Only natural that there would still be unrest among the people.
Even the Royal Knights. Their leadership was bound to the church more than anything. And now he's out on his ear too. And replaced by Sir Jaime Noctul, no less. You believe that? The Royal Knights, led by a Ujief of all things.
Wait.
Though he's
Stroll,
one of the 6 partisans
Hultenberg,
When he
Jaime,
speaks,
Juna,
listens.
Yufa.
No one's about to complain.
What's the? Wow, damn, that's 6 people. I mean, of course, we're not counting Gallica or Nearest.
Strange to think we'd been deaf to the voice of the people until now. It's unbelievable. Compared to the days of the autocrats.
I wonder if they got a round table as well.
Credit where it's due. I think it's thanks to His young majesty. Remember last year's coronation? Unprecedented, that. Saw heroes of all different tribes celebrating the king's victory. Celebrating among the common folk, even. They tell me some of the younger aristocrats have taken to call it the Great Reconciliation. It really is a tragedy, what happened to his father, the king. But considering how his sons turned out, I hope he's at peace.
Indeed. Yet the real test is still to come. The first year has seen a lot of good, but we've still got our share of problems.
People are smiling more now, but smiles won't solve... Damn it. Smiles won't solve the multitude of problems we face.
Majesty, I've also heard some folks saying they've seen a boy wandering around these parts who looks just like him. You don't suppose?
Ah, can't be. Without his escorts? Besides, what business would a king have in this place?
Suppose you're right.
Knowing his people.
Mountains upon mountains of appeals from the people. How many days will this take to sort?
It is weird seeing Holtenberg in that outfit.
All the trouble you took to flee politics. And somehow you're now the preeminent ladyship of your house. Such is fate.
Despite everything, this year has passed in surprising peace, hasn't it? Honestly, with the royal scepter disappearing like that, I feared more dissent.
Perhaps after Luis, they swore they could never let that happen again. Either way, more and more are dealing with conflicts calmly and openly. Promising.
Well, I'll say Heisman's outfit is also surprises me. Because he just seems more based off the ninja.
I've brought in the next load. And there we go. Not half bad, right? Hey!
How long did it take them to notice he's not there?
I've said countless times not to leave unannounced.
That means they were in the room, probably thinking about this, talking to him.
How did Luis and Forden put up with all this damn finery?
But never noticed he wasn't in the goddamn room.
Are you here? June
Ah.
from her inspection.
Stroll looks more fitting,
Wait!
but the coat's weird.
Oh, good grief. Something.
Juna's probably the only one whose outfit is fitting.
I'd say life has changed plenty for us. Yet somehow our captain's same as he ever was.
Still calling him the captain. Which makes sense because, you know, obviously will is something the player can choose. And they would never know how to do it.
And then, well, I might have got a bit too fresh with them stuck-up scientists. But those bloody church folk been looking down on us for
Especially
years,
it's
you know?
funnier that it's
Still, it was other scientists what stepped in to keep things peaceable too.
funnier that it's the drunk man.
I reckon they're not all bad. Guess me cogs turning. They lost both their Saint effects and the Saint Lady last year. Got their own struggles, I expect.
As authority weakens, power falls to the hands of those who have never wielded it. We must ensure that it does not corrupt, giving rise to new conflict.
Not like it excuses all of them or makes me want to go up and shake a saint's hand, but you really put some perspective on it.
It was good talking to you.
You too.
You know what, lad? You're all right. You ever need some good, honest work? I'll get you squared, eh?
Glad to see more options in the world. Still, it takes more than that to change.
I should have known you'd be wandering around without your escorts again. How is it, being able to hear the city's honest thoughts? If you told them you're the king, it'd knock them sideways. Sorry you ended up coming all this way. Maria's actually out on an errand right now.
That's too bad.
That's too bad.
Are you that disappointed? She's a lucky one for such company. Either way, just keep your head down. You know what happens when you're too obvious about this. Sooner or later, the Lady Captain of the Royal Guard...
Oh, there you are. I knew we'd find you here. Crying out loud.
Always the hushed honeybee in. Literally, it's so weird to see her in white, especially because you never see her in white.
Let us return, Your Majesty. And I thought I had informed you that Juno would be back from her expedition today.
I'll go back soon.
Stops left in the city, though.
You do know I practically sprinted out the gates to find you. To settle, I shall come with you on every excursion.
Too much.
Just like that, you won't. You know how we like snooping around, inconspicuous.
And yet, no one notices Holtenberg.
Point taken.
He'll be fine. His Majesty is not about to fall prey to some alleyway scandal. Sure.
You've seen how hard I am to kill.
Majesty, if you see Maria about, do slow down.
Plus, don't forget, this is safety mode.
She finds out she just missed you.
Fine. Now, Your Majesty, once your business here is finished, please make sure you return to the palace with all swiftness.
All right.
Maria, where are you?
Let's go.
I just didn't even realize Galco was talking. This reminds me of the first time Maria went missing. It seems so long ago. She might be praying in the Grand Cathedral, just like back then. Before heading to the Grand Cathedral, why don't I talk to everyone else first? They're all in the royal capital, prepare for the new year, so let's find them.
Hey?
That makes me wonder, can I do this? He truly is something. Maybe I should go see how he's doing. Skulking about the city again, are we? Would you say Hultenberg is on the hunt? The classic game of cat and mouse, though who is which, I dare not say. It's been a year since you've ascended the throne, but it's like you've hardly changed. I could say the same for you. You haven't changed that much either, Stroll. That's Lord or General Stroll, Your Majesty. What about Lord General? I never get used to such titles. Maria should take a page from Juna's book. She has a gift for delegating like she was born to do so. Coming from the noble one. Not that I can talk. I actually came out for a bit of breather myself. No, I see now that those at the top have their struggles a little too clearly. A general's duty feels overwhelming at times, but there are lives hanging in the balance. I recognize the weight of every decision I make, and I do find satisfaction in protecting those lives. Remember our first meeting back at the recruitment center? I, a fallen noble with nothing to my name, and you, a struggling elder traveler. Back then, my only goal was getting ahead. My people were little more than an afterthought. If I hadn't met you, I'd never realized the truth about my fortune. There's intention, and I certainly couldn't have saved the Hollians. I was seeing the joy in their faces to you. I think I've said it before, but again, thank you. Give yourself some credit. You need to give yourself some credit, Stroll. I would still owe any credit I could take to you for showing me the way. They live stable, peaceful lives thanks to you. You've got a whole country on your shoulders now. The road ahead will be full of challenges we can't possibly foresee. But show me the way and I'll blaze the trail. Now and always, it is my role as the warrior to be the vanguard. Our titles may have changed, but I like to think our friendship is steadfast as ever. Don't hesitate to rely on me, now and always.
What do you want to do?
There's still other people we can talk to, but did you want to go see Maria now? No. Although this does make me question, this conversation we have, I wonder if it's affected by if you max out your, the followers, the social links. I'm almost positive it does, because the fact that he mentioned the fortune. Well, ain't the big man himself. Good time, mate. I just got back in time myself. Where'd you go? Where'd you come from? Where'd you go again? I'm captain of the Seekers Recon team, remember? We travel the world doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And crazy doesn't begin to describe what's beyond the seal. The sights, the magic, everything's so fantastic. I'm already itching to get back out there. Well, I'm not especially keen on dodging the bloody cannonballs when my ship gets too close. Lots of tension out there, but what country isn't a little tense? Everything from the customs to the way they think is so different, my head spins. Makes all the tribal bickering seem right dull, if I can speak my mind. I'm just gonna check something. I feel like I missed a line. Alright, beyond the sea. This country's changing for the better. I'm glad I turned over the throne to you. Appreciate it?
Hold on.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Oh, come on, I'm just roasting you. After we knocked heads, I knew I could trust you with making the lives of us helpers better than they was. All my cohorts have found jobs, and some of them have even picked up new skills from being out at the sea so long. Yeah, this has to make a lot of these so far. Just even seeing these two, I think this only makes sense if these are post-follower. Then again, it's really easy to max out the followers compared to a Persona game with the social links. Yeah, but don't worry your kingly head. I'll have it whipped up in a report for you. Do something proper kingish with it, yeah? All right, now going down the list, Hultenberg.
Ah, goodness.
How utterly unsurprising. Maybe we should go see how she's doing.
Come now.
When you finish your business outside the palace, please promise me you'll return to resume your duties, Your Majesty. If you take this as my pressuring you not to venture out, that's not it at all. Only as the captain of the Royal Guard, I must know your whereabouts at all times. That's weird. Wow. Relax, Hultenberg. You needn't be so serious, Hultenberg. Lighten up, maybe. You mean to say I'm too fussy? Well, it is only proper for the captain of the Royal Guard. To be overfamiliar would set a poor example. Imagine the scandalous face of the rank-and-file guards. That said, not a day goes by that I don't reflect on our travels now only a year past. I owe regaining my pride as a knight to that journey. I was but a wanderer searching in vain for the prince, and it was through you I learned he yet lived. In the end, it was your ascent to the throne I supported. I never tired the faces the younger guard makes when I tell them of the time you act as a witness to my duel. Ah, Rodadant. Ah, you mean your duel with Rodadant? Yes. Thanks to you, I was able to face him with eyes forward and put my past behind me. I'm pleased to say the knights today are nothing like what they were under Rodadant's command. Soldiers take up their sword not for those in power, but for the people. And a champion of the people yourself, we will do all our power to protect you, our king. You do not make it easy by sneaking out of the palace as you do. But though I suspect the soldiers are getting used to your chaotic tendencies. They know they'll protect not just a king, but a ruler who stands beside his people and hears their voices in clarion truth. Which makes sense why he sneak out of the palace. I will protect you with my life, as I've always endeavored to do, Your Majesty. Only let me stay by your side to do so. Fallen Knight, once of this... I don't think this changed this. Everything is different now. Maybe we should go see how he's doing. We should talk. Well, I see our king is out on some personal business, eh? I believe Hultenberg was searching for you, but I suppose it's none of my business who comes and goes. I'm gonna break myself. Only try not to frustrate your royal guards over too much, They all take their duties quite seriously, much like their captain. But who am I kidding? A knight who smiles is surely a myth. That becomes clear to me since becoming titled. That seems weird. What could be more bizarre? A Ujif outcast, once a wanted criminal with a bounty on his head, made knight commander? There was, of course, some opposition at first, but the more heart-to-heart talks I had, the more accepting they become amid gradually. An outcast became king too. They need look further. The outcast became their king. You face no shortage of persecution, and look at you now. Grand titles and posts across the nation are no different spread across all the tribes. I realized over the past year just how much of a nation is defined by its people. No matter how great a king is, he alone does not a country make. Yet he stands for those very people as a symbol and representative. That's the king, and those around him are mixed tribes. It has already caused a great shift in sentiment, even for those in the rural villages. I just realized you speak. I did not read what the choice was. You mean your hometown? Speak of your hometown? Yes, indeed. They had shut themselves away, and now they actively engage with other villagers. Your coronation inspires that village to greater heights. It could prove that barriers can be broken, and that even they could take the first step. New winds are blowing in every corner of this country. I'll have to take another trip back home with my son to see how the changes for myself soon enough. And someday I hope the distant generations will grow up only knowing conflict-born tribal differences from the history books. We have a ways to go before that day comes. But until it does, let us forge the path towards it, Your Majesty.
Yo.
And since Bastelio's right here, hey, out expecting again seems a right pain to me, but I appreciate you going to all the effort. Making it around, Bastelio? Making it around, Bastelio? Yeah, captain of the Tredian Brigade. Reporting in. Tredian Brigade, and I'm pleased to report that there's nothing to report, Your Majesty, so I'm taking a break. Bastelio, I think, is one of the only ones who doesn't seem weird in his outfit. Bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Still not used to call myself a captain. Besides, we even taken in some survivors from Luis's troops. No, but don't worry. I got 2 eyes on them even when I ain't looking. The way I see it, they weren't the ones trying to make the world worse. I gotta show them how power is supposed to be used, yeah? We owe it to you that there are less discrimination in the city these days. Fewer and fewer are turning to a life of crime to make ends meet. If Del could see Grand Trad today, his eyes would bug out. And not just Del, a lot of the guys who didn't make it. I wish they could have seen. I wish they could have seen it for themselves. Yeah, same. But as long as we keep them in our memories, it's as close to saving them as we can get, Minka included. We built this peace with a lot of blood and tears. So I say those of us who made it this far owe it to all of them what didn't do, protect it. Maybe I got nothing to report today, but it's not like bad people just stop being bad because you're king now. You've been through a lot, though, so thanks for not giving up on us. Or the world, for that matter. You spot any trouble that I didn't spot first, you just point me at it, I'll solve it quick like. Alright, since we now got all... Well, we got... Galca, I'm guessing we can't talk to. Stroll, Haltenberg, Heisme, Bastilio, Maria we have to find, Katarina. We're making... More, obviously, we can't do shit with. So, let's do Yufa. No, not Yufa, Juna.
My king.
I'm sure he hasn't changed a bit. Maybe I should go see how she's doing. We should talk. Wait a sec, isn't that the cat from Academia? If that place was made of magic, then how is it here in real life? Say nothing of how he could have survived in a deserted ruins buried in the snow. That shouldn't be possible, right? Who knows? It's mystery after mystery around here. Memory serves, the last king did build himself a study in the Mage Academy. Do you think that Academia was styled after that? Maybe, yeah. I wonder what His Majesty, what more felt when he put this little guy in Academia. The cat tends to himself quietly, utterly impartial to us.
My king.
Oh, there you are. Well, heard you were in town, so I decided to see if we might cross paths. So, I have so much to tell you about my inspections, but I'm afraid you'll need to clear your diary for me soon. Bring any souvenirs?
In that case.
Did you bring back any souvenirs? Just focus on the report. Don't worry. I'll give you the gist. Firstly, the Mage Academy's reconstruction is going swimmingly. Repairs are in full swing, and we're already processing emissions. I must say, I'm still surprised you appointed me, of all people, to be the Academy's headmistress. I was rather looking forward to going back on tour as a songstress. Oh, and I shall introduce you to my furry little friend. I scooped him up in the Academy of all places. During the reconstruction, they stumbled on the little guy in some kind of zervi supposedly used by a king long ago. Considering the igniter around his neck, I'm sure he was being taken care of. I mean, there's no way a cat could survive alone in that cold. Could he? Regardless, our mysterious kitty is not only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Academy, all that knowledge was lost when it fell, so we're starting from scratch. It may even be hiding secrets as big as the Dragon Temple or the Sanctum. Oh, and I'm keeping the cat. Feels like fate, you know? Speaking of fate, on my way back, I met up with Miris. She's well, I trust?
Now we're talking.
She's been keeping well, I hope.
Yeah.
More than well. Her throat has been fine, and she's a fairly prominent singer about town now. Both just keep soaring to new heights. Her and music, and me coming to face to face with magic again. Surely you remember, music was the first magic born in this world, yes? Never understood that. When the hearts express itself through music, it moves the hearts of others. And when they make hearts swell, why, there's no end to the magic. So just you watch. With music and magic on my side, I'm going to change the world. All will have equal opportunities to hone their talents at the Mage Academy. Our doors are open to all. That's what my little sister would have That's what my sister would have wanted. And it makes the world a better place. Why? Isn't that just grand? Rella taught me that magic is more than a tool. It's in all of us, deep in our hearts. Now we can talk to Yufa.
I do believe.
There's so much I wish to say to you. Maybe I should go see how she's doing, yes.
Greetings.
Working as hard as ever, Will? Were you going about town and listening to what people have to say? Myself, I just come from the Crown Court, where I've been consulting with the people about their grievances and disputes as the Chief Magistrate. Our court has time for that? Our court is taking on common grievances? In the past, we were busy with the cases of violences and theft, but those have been decreased remarkably. As you undoubtedly were aware, In the past, many citizens were sentenced to hang without so much as a trial. I'm pleased to report things are different now. Anyone, regardless of race or status, can tell their side of the story in court and be judged equally and fairly. Goes to show anything is possible, even for a priestess to become a chief magistrate. My brother is making great strides as village chief. He rather hated the role before, but he's truly found his calling, I think. As I said, no one knows what the future holds. What the hell has been that in the background? It's all the more reason I try to guide people to good choices. I want to live in a society that practices kindness, where those who suffer need not to turn to crime, and so I practice what I preach. The other day I went to visit Ovi's church to inquire with those who were sick there about how the kingdom can be more accessible to them. How is Ovi? Was Ovi doing well? Yes, we practiced dancing together, and then we showed her mother. All of them are ready to ease into working again. Hearing them made me reflect on all the people who still need our help. Till now, the only hope those people had was God. I want to fight for them to have options under laws and systems that they can rely on in addition to higher power. A country where all the tribes with all their values can join hands in harmony. That's what we need. You aim to achieve that too. Yes, Your Majesty, I hope you will allow me to keep walking alongside you in this. What is this? Game won't tell me? Alright. Alright, so our party members, well, technically nearest, but let's do him next. I appreciate how good the environment is, but maybe I should go see how he's doing. Oh, what brings His Royal Majesty here? Come to feel the wind on your face too, have you? I know how it feels. I fancy the old title of Chief Engineer of the Kingdom Infrastructure Development Bureau and can research as I please. But something's missing, so I threw off that stuffy old uniform and came to gaze upon the runner in the way I do. I know how you feel. I feel like I know what you mean when you say something missing. I know you agree. I think my bones are aching to feel the wind. I rather miss the days of dashing hither and thither in the runner. Not that I'm ungrateful for the gracious title you've given to a man who's used to skulk about modifying gauntlet runners. You haven't seen anything yet. Why, one day I'll invent teleportation dice that will lure fresh fish straight from Oceania to your hotel plates. Well, the idea is cool. I would not like fish on my plate. Change the world, wouldn't you say? I'm just a bit stuck at the beginning on the development. In time, I feel like I need simulation of mine. You have anything that might do the trick? Do I smell another relic hunt? Are you going to send me on another relic hunt? Don't pretend you didn't enjoy it. Every time you pop back in with one, remember how I could hardly contain my excitement. Oh, I so do miss traveling like that. Where the relics themselves were better off left untouched, they become the guiding principles of my research, you know? Convenience is important, but one must consider safety and the effects it might have on the world. An engineer who dumps a burden on the future generation is no engineer at all. Still, it's no small feat to design with perfect balance of safe and revolutionary. Even I struggle with it, and I'm a bully genius. I knew it. What I need is simulation. Your Majesty, you know? Like the soul-shaking speed and quiver of a drive engine. You let me know if you ever want to go out on a spin, won't you? Our dear old girl, sparkling clean, is always ready for takeoff. Who's left? We did Katerina, Alonso, Barden, Brigitte. Oh, we're actually pretty through this. He's the one who deceived me most. Maybe I should go see how he's doing. Why, hello, Your Majesty. It's only been a year since your coronation, but I see you become quite adept at sneaking away from your palatable duties. Under constant fire from the knaves of all trades, con artists, and critics alike, your opening act has been rather tumultuous, no? I hadn't noticed. Oh, has it? I hadn't noticed. How kingly an answer. Never miss an opportunity to display how capable you are. Commendable. Besides, most of those agitators are the kind of scum that stir the pot in hopes that they might benefit from the country's turmoil. Nothing I couldn't handle, of course. All in a day's work for the royal adjutant to the Citizens' Council. Quite an ally I've made, I should hope. I wonder if my mother would be the slightest bit proud to see who I've become, that I'm doing my damnedest to use my talents for good as I always should have. I'm proud to see it. Proud to be working hard alongside you. That's right, supporting you is the best thing I can do. You're the one who's been able to create such a lasting change as our country. That reminds me. Do you remember Datram, my hometown's landowner? He told me to send you his regards. He since confessed his crimes and is awaiting trial. You were the one who awakened his conscience. It makes sense, doesn't it? You've proven your ideals to be true. That's why the country is doing so well. There's nothing more to it. I'm hardly qualified to speak of pride, but if this country has one, it's you. And I'm proud to be among its people. Perhaps under your rule, the day will come that even we Nidia can walk around freely in our true forms. Still find that plot point weird. And why the fact he can react like that is he knows that he's heard it from Juna. Then again, I don't know, maybe he never maxed out Juna's link. I don't know, it's one of the weirdest things I've thought of for the Nidias. You're curious what I look like in my true form? I'll be happy to oblige, but let's save that for another time, shall we? Alright, now we've got Bardon. I don't know that we'll meet again. Maybe I should go see how he's doing. We should talk.
That's something.
An unexpected coincidence, Your Majesty. No guards with you today? Don't worry. I'm no tattletale. Wait, what did he say? Tattletale? Oh, tattletale. Why did I say I was thinking tall tale? I myself just left the meeting going on how the provisional governments are doing. We convened for the next year. How are things in Martaria? Oh, it's lively as it used to be, and we owe it all to you. Your Majesty, that dodgy mess you cleaned up for us feels like ancient history now. I'm pleased to report, as head of the Provincial Lords, it's nothing but good news reaching my ears. Better relations between towns has employment up and overall welfare too. Each town has specialties and wisdom to offer, and when we combine our heads, there's no problem we can't solve. I just feel so blessed to be part of it. I know I made some blunders when I first stepped into the governor's role, but I'm happy to share my failings so others don't repeat my mistakes. Things are all right now? Are things all right now? Indeed they are. The townspeople play an active role in the policy and administration, and I'm not bearing that weight alone. Of course, some lords are like what I was once, and would rather manage things at their sole discretion than leave things to the people. And yes, taking every matter to public opinion can be laborious, what with all the proceedings and disputes. Still, changing our lives with our own hands makes the process worth the trouble. And choosing a king of our own free will was the inspiration we needed for a change. And now, we've got Brigitte, who I think should be our last one. So like I said, I don't think Moore and Gallica will do anything for us. And I'm not going to read that. Things have changed completely. Maybe I should go see how she's doing. The king himself out browsing the shops. Perhaps I need to draft up a royal certificate of appointment. Tell the world we supply goods to the royal family. That's a little embarrassing. Why stop there? You can give me a signed handprint to display on the wall. No, just my little joke. We're doing quite well without a royal endorsement. The igniters I made at the children's request, the ones that light up with rainbow colors, is selling startlingly well. The store was packed with families and children. I now hold the position where I control the distribution of all manners of goods throughout the kingdom as the head of the Igniters Consortium. I can't help but think that if I had been in this position sooner, the church's violence, the tragedy of that village, could have been prevented. It wasn't your fault. There's nothing you could have done at the time, Brigitte. I know that. I only rose to this position once you became king, and shed light on what lurked in the shadows of this country. Though you can't take full credit, as it were. I was nominated for my new position by my colleagues. Our new king has changed this country for the better. However, as a former arms dealer, it would be naive to think all the weapons can ever disappear from this world. It's all the more reason I hope that the reasons for people to wield them continue to decline. To that end, I'll continue doing what I possibly can, with all that I am, just as you do. Yes, do you remember my dog? I found the ones who took her. Naturally, I considered ending their lives. But there she was, sitting beside them. Evidently, they could not bring themselves to harm such a sweet creature, so they decided to keep her instead. So they stole the dog. I had no choice but to spare their lives. I couldn't subject a gentle dog to the atrocities I commit in her name. You should come play with her sometime. I'm sure she remembers you. And with that, just to confirm, I sense a strong bond between Moore and me. There's nothing from Moore. Galka, you still can't click anything for her. So let's sword surf. I think we've heard all we can from the people. Should we head to where Maria is? Let's go see her. Being here sure brings back memories. You remember how we came here looking for Maria before the tournament for the throne? She was crying back then, though. She's happy now. Things are different now, though. You can say that again. This country's turned around since then, no doubt about it. I'm sure there will always be a difference of opinions, but your ideals are really coming to fruition now. I can feel it. That reminds me, what's up with the book you're carrying around now? Is that the one you've been working on yourself? I'm excited to see what kind of fantasy you can conjure up. But maybe that's not even putting the word for it. After all, if you're the one putting it to the ink, that means you're going to make it a reality someday. Now then, Your Majesty, shall we get going? He keeps the sword.
Oh, hello there.
Turn on auto.
Right. I suppose now I should call you Your Majesty. You know, I was just telling Papa, even through all that mess, everyone's really been working hard.
Am I keeping my promise?
Keeping my promise properly from back then?
Yes, you beat the villain, and now the city's full of smiles. And I'm sure Papa's smiling down on you too.
That's good. Hearing that from you really lifts my heart.
It's a joy to see kids like her smile. The future changes slowly, and the burden of its momentum will fall on their shoulders one day.
Don't worry. I'll try to do my part with what I've got. I want to help everyone understand that the world could be a better place if we can join hands with one another. Miss Fabian's fed so many hungry people since things changed. Some of those people even said they found their place there. I think I did too. If we can all change together for the better like that, we'll be closer to Your Majesty's and Papa's dream.
Place where I ought to be, a side of myself I ought to show. The path is never clear.
I want to help with something too. I want everyone across the land to be able to smile.
You'd make a trusty advisor.
I expect great things, my trusty advisor.
Yeah. Thank you, Your Majesty. Oh, thank you, Your Majesty.
We should be the ones thanking her. Feels like I can see the entire country's future in her smile.
Everyone!
Long time no see. How have you been?
As we find ourselves afield, I thought I might visit Alsace myself.
Hold on a tick. Those people there. Surely not.
Naturally, we're drawing attention. We didn't all have to.
I love how Nearest is part of, like, he's never been a party member, but he's really been part of the group since the beginning.
Together again anyway.
Aww.
Lady Tuna, did she really come all this way in a runner? Could have asked His Majesty to pop over and bring you back with a teleport or two.
The unmitigated nerve.
Oh, it's fine. I wanted to take in our country as it is. It's definitely a little rougher outside the capital's walls. There's still traces of melancholia around, and the odd human roaming about.
We're sending soldiers out for every incident we can. But it's not easy to hear the voice of the people from more distant regions.
I guess it's obvious. But just because you're king now doesn't make you suddenly all-seeing.
A lesson I learned last year. In the end, I was blind to a great deal of this world. Never would have learned if I hadn't pushed out the door and seen it with my own eyes.
He's right, the capital can be a bit of a bubble. There will always be more to do and learn beyond its wall.
A year ago, I would have just said we could fly over ourselves. mean, let's be real. The capital isn't going to fall apart if we just sneak over for a little tour, is it?
Of course not. We specifically put precautions in place to keep things running.
Yet it has only been 1 year. We cannot be too complacent too soon, lest the dissidents seize on the opportunity.
Oh, there he is! Over there! See? I told you, that's His Majesty, innit?
Might have been a bit too obvious.
Oi there, Your Majesty!
You dare hoy the king? You swine!
Halderberg, calm down.
Bird, calm. You needn't draw steel on the poor fellow. We're the ones who indulged in this little day trip.
Your Majesty, thanks for all you do, really. Have to say, my life's a lot easier now.
There's more work to do every day. But we're in this together. We believe in you.
Everyone's so supportive. Kind of brings back memories from last year.
Rather. It's the sort of thing to get a chap all misty-eyed over the past. What a journey it was.
We really did just leg it up and down the country slaying dragons, eh?
Yep.
Can't believe we actually survived it.
They were dangerous times, but exciting ones too.
When we fought to appease the dragon god, I had no idea we would have to face another 4 dragons.
Nor I.
Nope.
Never thought the day would come when I...
Kind of wish I tried to take on the dragon in the beginning of the game, because that would have been very fun to see between Stroll, us, and Grius. So I have to believe in my ideals no matter what may come, even back then. Even if the world is slow to change, a king's belief can never waver.
It was a hard road, but we did have fun together, didn't we?
Looks like we're drawing a crowd. Time to get back to work.
Indeed. A veritable mountain of tasks awaits us, and I will see it crested.
And not long after, the new year dawned.
Back in the outfit. Then again, I don't think we ever changed that outfit.
Journey? Are you really planning on leaving us?
There's more I have to see.
More I have to see. With my own eyes.
You want to know what's going on in the world, huh? Well, I guess you are the king.
Sounds like fun, but a daily jaunt down to the slums is one thing, and a proper journey is quite another. You're a king now, lad. You've got the people's expectations on your shoulders. It's all right to just sit on your throne and mind the home front, you know?
I just want to do what I
I
can.
want to do what I can for the people. If that's not kingly, then the crown's just slowing me down.
Damn.
Come on, this is no time for jokes.
Never the fearless gadabout, eh?
Gadabout?
I take your point, lad. Magla and the humans make a fine barometer for the anxiety still swirling in the country. So you go out and give it a proper survey, where it is and how much is there. If people can't face their anxieties, they can't keep their eyes forward. And if they can't do that, we'll have a bally hard time moving forward as a nation or a people. So you want to get a better grasp of it all. That's your most important duty as a ruler. That's what you're thinking, eh?
Right.
In the most faraway future begins with the belief that it can be realized. So I'll press onward. That's the best I can do.
If that was your plan, you could have just said so.
Sounds like a fine idea to me. A proper spot of fun this size. Wouldn't expect any less from our king and captain. Well, since I'm the bally court engineer, I've no choice but to come along. I'm the only driver fit to maneuver the Royal Skyrunner after all. And why, you're the Dragon Slayer King. Bane of monsters all across the country.
I'm assuming if you didn't slay the dragons, they would not call you the Dragon Slayer King.
Yes, there begins our quest anew, Let us sally forth upon our... hello? Are you not listening to me?
Probably because they noticed. And they're back in their regular outfits.
It'll be the death of us.
Once again, sire, I've asked you countless times to give word if you're to leave the castle. Such caprice.
Nurse, don't tell me you called for them beforehand.
Saved us a bit of time, eh? Though, hello, what's this? I count only 2 of the 6 partisans. Short a few spears.
For my
we only have one
part,
spear.
I believe 'tis unrealistic for all of us to depart the capital together.
Oh, so you have no plans to stop our little adventure, eh?
Hulkenberg and I talked it over. We decided that if you insist on going, we'd rather go with
Do you think they would have had the updated outfits? At least, I mean, there's an odd reason. Then again, as Fabian brought up before, it's not exactly
Will that be all right?
I was thinking.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Fight with Luis. So many people supported us, but not for any high-minded ideals or arguments.
They were supporting us because we were actively fighting a monster on their behalf. In the end, people make choices based on their personal experience and emotion. Even if decided justly and supported by prosperity, people may struggle to trust a king whose face they do not know. An invisible ruler is no cure for their fears.
Right. I'm not opposed to the idea of getting out into the world again. Really, it might be the wisest move to make sure you're a king everyone knows.
My friends and allies believe as I do. Their support is the greatest treasure I could have.
Still, this early into the new year, 'tis never a dull moment in your Majesty's employ.
Bit of a smaller party than we last set out with, huh? But it's a pleasure to be on the road again with you.
Okay, but can
I mean, is this really...
both our general and the Royal Guard's captain coming along for this?
'Tis natural course for the Royal Guard to accompany the king. And I trust my corps is not so feeble that it will fall apart in my absence.
We'll make it work. Got to learn to trust others and delegate, right? You just have to lead by example.
Then let's go.
Right then, let's go.
You once heard my voice and answered a query in kind.
Not right.
Is fantasy a powerless creation? A timeless question. So long as life remains in the world, we seekers all shall search for our answer. But he will find his. Of that I am certain. And it is thanks to you for believing in and guiding him. That was the true purpose of my royal magic, you know. To seek and obtain guidance from denizens of a land beyond ours. A land
that almost feels like a Bravely Default reference.
And it was you who answered the call. Armed with your hope.
But, hey, I got a fire in my soul. When I start something, I don't stop until I see it to the end.
Such courage, such whimsy, and yes, what thrills. You have my sincerest thanks.
Feels familiar. It's been far too long.
Aye, the wind feels an echo of days past.
Unusually poetic for you.
Of course, he's hiding under the runner.
Weren't they? They would have left us behind.
Well, I'm not certain we're in a position to talk, having followed straight after, saying we could just teleport back.
Well, hey, we figured the kids might want to change your scenery, like.
Aw, they brought Maria. She doesn't have to see pictures.
Scepter's absence restored order to Magla, and even greenery to the sands.
I'll say, I definitely like this view better.
Damn, even Mogla was messing up the lands. It was a desert. And thus, that was Metaphor Refantazio. One of the latest games from Atlas, and damn, if they want to make another series and spin-offs of this, like turn this into like the new Persona, which I would still hope they would make Persona games, but damn, this was a hell of a game. I definitely enjoyed it. Like, this is my second time playing through, and especially, I didn't finish my first playthrough it was a hell of a playthrough. Hell, I would be very tempted to play this game again, but I'm definitely gonna have to take a break from it. I got other games on my list, and nothing new to say, but damn, this was a game. I will say the story's fun. It's mostly unique in some aspects. Like, I gotta admit, old world being the real world and it being destroyed isn't the most unique. I mean, I've only seen it in a few other stories. Only one comes to mind right now, but it's an interesting story. It's an idea I've never seen coming. I think the story is played well, the idea of fantasy and what strength we can get from it. Even the idea that our anxiety, our worries, and even the idea of a utopia, all of them I do think mixed together for a rather interesting story. And I do think the characters in the story, the bits, everything from our main character being a living archetype, the king showing his aspects, and even our allies, what we see from them. Like, overall, all of it, even our villain, Luis, who plays almost like the devil himself. I mean, he became an archdemon at the end, and wants to stand in for like this world's version of Lucifer himself. And honestly, I liked the characters, the game, the story, everything just kept me going. I want to see more and more. Hell, when I first played the demo of this game, when I finished the demo, I bought the game so I could keep playing, and I gotta be honest, I liked the game. I had fun with it. There are, I will admit, some things of the story I did think could have done differently. Like, did more with the other candidates for the throne. And I do wish we got to see more of Grease's character. If you realize, I even pointed this out, we never got another Rogada party member, and we had a party member from each tribe because we lost our party member. We lost that Rogada party member. Like, everything that could have been building between Grease's story was cut off from the very beginning. Hell, even the idea of like what the royal magic could do, I feel like after a while it became unnecessary and even brought up as nothing. And I feel like they could have maybe expanded more of the world's past. It also could just be I didn't look into the right things, so I didn't see any of that. But overall, I thought the story was fine. I loved the details. I loved seeing what we did of this world. And it all works well. I know I'm sounding kind of just off and probably not clear, maybe a little in my thoughts, but it's more just because I'm going off just the top of the head and like what I can think. I don't have a clear set idea. Like, the story was fun. I liked what I saw. And everything we experienced, I think, worked well. Like, we getting to see the whole idea of an Elda, even what it really means to be the Elden, like the idea of the old world. There are some aspects I wish they went into more, like what the kingdom was before, all the tribes. Like I said, I told you, I'm probably going to switch a little more into the negatives, but like the Nydia, the whole thing with them being actually just the size of small children, just everyone's hiding from illusion. Everyone's hiding their true forms behind illusions, especially because it's not really clear how they work and all that, and it just seems so weird. I will say at least some negatives. I will will give in the end is, I do gotta admit, some of the character designs I just don't care for. Like, some of the outfits just seem a little awkward and weird and out of place. And, like, for example, I never understood why the Rossani have fur at the end of their ears. You could have just made them elf-like, if you ask me. It literally would have made no difference, if you ask me. But, it's not that big of a deal in the end, if you ask me. But overall, I thought the story was okay, and I can't say anything negative or bad. And overall, I mean, nothing about it was terrible. I'm just gonna let the credits play. I will say one thing I will say is a little negative. I feel like for certain ideas, like they bring back Zorba and kind of show multiple times. I mean, it's implied he's, which I feel like it kind of, well, I don't think he was overused compared to like say a game like Fire Emblem Gage where the Four Hounds became bosses after bosses and it became very tiresome, and it just showed how ununique the villain's team was. That how even at one point, when I thought the game had given me a new character as a boss, it turns out it was just a boss from an earlier point in the game that I had completely forgotten about. I will say it's kind of sad to know that the traveling boy was not actually friends with the prince, since he was the prince. Which means all those memories and thoughts we saw were sad. Never true. True, which makes it sad. And sure, well, there's, again, other characters that, you know, they at least make sense why they disappear off the store when they do. Like, Kelliger was nothing to begin with. The Great
Dear
Seeker.
guest, from a
Night
world
House.
I shall never know. In your eyes, I know our journey was ultimately a fiction. However, I hope your memories of this fantastical adventure burn as bright in your reality. I hope the promise of our world echoes in you. With all my heart, I hope that fantasy gives you strength.
Look at that. The rubble's just made for tourists now.
I never expected a view like this.
Let's see it all. Let's see the world.
Yeah.
A new journey now beckons.
Makes me wonder if we get another metaphor, which one will it be?
Prospered and perished in turn. Struck by their ways, I wrote a book of my dearest ideas. A tale of fantasy. In my vision, they placed their trust, and so the kingdom breathed new life.
Will they give us another story of seeing more like this, or will it be a new character? Because it would explain why the archetypes would no longer be, we wouldn't have the level on archetypes we had.
You will face all sorts of trials ahead. But carry onward with all your heart. Onward, fearless, into a world unknown.
Fantasy lives on. By saving your clear data, certain things can transfer over to a new game. You can transfer currently owned items with some exceptions. Money, Mog, Royal Virtues, scanned enemies, Morium, archetype statuses, and total playtime. Save clear data, yes. And with that, 123 hours and 3 seconds is been my metaphor Refantazio playtime. And on that note, this is where we're calling it for metaphor, but hold that dial. Well, we will be stopping the show for a bit. We aren't done for the night. I'm still here. I'm still going to be streaming. It feels too early to call it now. We got still at least little less than an hour. So, as I promised, we might be seeing a brand new journey start. So give me a moment. We're just going to log off real quick just so I can switch games. But it should be ready. Everything should be good. So let's begin.